You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Friday the 11th of July, 2025. It is 21 days after the summer solstice. It is 73 days before the fall equinox. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 23rd day of Messidor, the day of the haricot, the green bean. The sun rises today at 5:35 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 1:01 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:28 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 9 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 9:42 p.m. The length of daytime today is 1 minute 10 seconds shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waning gibbous phase and is 99% full at midday. The third quarter will arrive on Thursday, the 17th of July. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the early morning, low tide, 5:16 a.m., 3 centimeters. In the late morning, high tide, 11:32 a.m., 1 meter 40. In the afternoon, low tide, 5:22 p.m., 21 centimeters. At night, high tide, 11:43 p.m., 1 meter 65. In our shared realm of plants and animals, as the golden rain trees wrap up their flowering, they are beginning to put out sprays of seed pods. These have delicate thin skins like paper lanterns. Just over an inch long, they end in a point. If you look at them from on end, you can see their tripartite symmetries. Green at first, they will mellow to a golden brown, and many of them will remain on the tree well into winter, far after the leaves have fallen. Commemorations. On this day in 1804, the famous duel between Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton took place. Burr was the sitting Vice President of the United States, and Hamilton had served as Secretary of the Treasury. They were long-term political rivals. In fact, in honesty, they hated each other. The duel took place at the foot of the Palisades in Weehawken, New Jersey. Hamilton was fatally injured and died the next day. On this day in 1936, the Triborough Bridge was dedicated and opened to traffic. The inaugural ceremony was attended by President Roosevelt and Mayor LaGuardia. Robert Moses was the master of ceremonies. Because the residents of Queens had been excluded from the official festivities, a smaller celebration took place in Astoria. We, of course, will always call the bridge by its proper name, the Triborough Bridge. A solemn anniversary. On this day in 1995, the Srebrenica massacre began. It was the height of the civil wars that tore apart the nation of Yugoslavia, and Srebrenica, in Bosnia, had been declared a safe haven. UN troops were stationed there, but the promise was empty. Ethnic Serbian forces under Ratko Mladic entered the town and systematically executed more than 8,000 Bosniak Muslim men and boys. In 2017, Ratko Mladic was convicted of the crime of genocide and other crimes. He is serving a life sentence in The Hague. Never forget the victims of ethnic violence, and remember how a prosperous and largely peaceful nation was destroyed by ethnic hatred, whipped up by cynical leaders. Remember today Martin Wong, born this day in 1946. He was an artist whose work epitomizes the cultural richness of the Lower East Side in the 1980s and 90s. His paintings celebrate the streetscapes of the time and the lives of working men. His collaboration with the poet Miguel Pinheiro brought him into Nuyorican circles, and his collection of graffiti art of the time remains a crucial archive. He died of AIDS-related causes in 1999. Today is the feast of Saint Benedict in the calendars of the Roman Catholic, Orthodox, and Anglican traditions. Benedict lived in the 5th and 6th century in Italy, in the fading of the Western Roman Empire. The Rule of Saint Benedict, which he wrote for his monks, is a model of balanced, humane discipline based on prayer and labor. He is regarded as the founder of Western monasticism, which would preserve so much knowledge through the cultural upheavals of the Dark Ages. And that is the Observatory, Friday the 11th of July, 2025.